Oh, beautiful. We got that pre-ban phase happening right now. Frank drafting a lot of control, and we've got LD Monster. Well, drafting LD Monsters. Let's see what happens here and see what we bring to the table.
Yeah, let's see what they settle on here. We haven't seen them play yet. Lima and Oliver. Again, Lima, a very specific pre-ban stoic.
Yep, definitely. LD Monster knows what he's getting into going up against Frank. Not a unit that you want to have to deal with. Lima, extremely powerful, and people who own it were definitely fighting to get that G1 or even higher to get a skin for their Lima here. Oh, looks like these two are going to be fighting over a Gurkha. That's the only explanation for a Gurkha first pick coming out of LD Monster.
Yeah, that was very targeted, that Gurkha first pick. That's something you normally see towards the end. It was actually one of Once and Love's favorite monsters as far as like picks in the draft go. Really changes the way the draft goes. You got to completely change everything that you're doing to counter it. And Masha inadvertently is a pretty good answer to all things trying to apply debuffs these days.
Most definitely, Masha able to save herself for keeping up with that immunity because Gurkha doesn't have a way to strip any of that immunity off. So Masha's definitely an excellent pick, bringing lots of damage, lots of power here. But now LD Monster is going to be taking the Nana himself, a little bit of sustain in the form, well, sustain and control with this Yan Hong.
Wow, that is a lot of sustained stoic, especially considering that Gurkha also can get some HP back when he's attacked. So this is quite a solid team that he's got going on here, LD Monster. Let's see what Frank has to offer in return. We have a pretty standard setup here, and it looks like he's going to bring Shizuka and Changpeng to wrap up that third and fourth slot.
Yeah, I'm definitely expecting LD Monster to take something he can combo off with this Yan Hong. We're going to see that Charge Vitality probably come out a little early into one of these units that he's going to be bringing to the table here up against Frank.
Yeah, especially since she has such a high base speed, it's great to be able to facilitate something else that you actually want. It's a secret starter, as it were, so you can have your fourth or fifth pick be actually the one that goes first and just benefit from her super fast speed lead, or rather base speed. Whoa, double Sea Emperor.
This is extremely interesting. So if we ended up seeing a Gurkha banned out here, now there's not a lot of damage threat coming out of LD Monster anymore with this Triton and Pontos. Now, I gotta admit, I'm not the biggest fan of the Triton. If Triton doesn't get his initial strip in the first place, I feel like Triton just kind of feels like one of those wash units.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred to see another threat here instead. Anything else, just because I mean there's not a whole lot that you even need to necessarily strip here to begin with, and you got the single target from Yan Hong, and that's all you need. Great ban on the Gurkha coming from Frank. I think that was pretty important. Juno gets banned out on the other side, but it seems maybe like that might have even been unexpected if the Gurkha was getting banned. I don't think he anticipated Gurkha ban.
Yeah, that was quite impressive. I mean, he had to expect to see the Gurkha ban when that drew the field, but we'll see what happens as we get into the rest of this match here. Game 1, guys.
Ooh, here comes Yan Hong. Got pushback, but not... I don't think he did get any pushback with the Moor.
Well, I mean, he's got that second skill. Swoop and Wave's going to silence on top of everybody, and that's great value right here. We're going to see where LD Monster's going to start funneling all his damage here, and he's looking for a dismount on top of the Masha.
Notably holds on to that single target strip on the Yan Hong. We're going to see that a little later. Here comes Holy Ground. And I believe there is still a strip on Changpeng, but it isn't necessarily known to be the most consistent.
Oh, he's silenced up right now, so he's not able to get any skills out. He's going to be silenced for one more turn as well. A little bit of damage getting put into this Yan Hong from this Water Ryu. We'll see what happens with the second skill coming out of the Yan Hong. Decided to go after the defense broken Shizuka. Definitely a good decision. He's able to get his orbs up here, getting stacked up to 2.
Reapplying the silence to keep the Changpeng under control yet again here. Frank does not have a whole lot of wiggle room. He's just not allowed to use any of his skills.
Not at all. I mean, the double silence coming out of the Sea Emperor has definitely shut me up. I didn't think the Triton was going to be that great, especially with this Masha here. But the Masha getting the big damage on top of the Pontos. But keep in mind that Nana's going to be keeping that unit alive still.
Yeah, like you said, Nana brings him right back into the action, so the Pontos is still relevant. Though, granted, you really see the impact of Nana's reduced HP on Revival. Oh, that proc into the third skill.
Yep, but we have that. I mean, it's not supposed to be that consistent, but it was a pretty good strip coming out of that Water Ryu, able to get, you know, the Yan Hong down here. Charge Vitality is up, and that's not something that Frank wants to see, because that's going to be a very healthy Pontos and Yan Hong again.
What a crazy combo here. The Yanhong with the Pontos and mix in the Nana here. Yanhong just kind of makes up for Nana's little bit of weakness as she now revives them with less HP, right? That's a great combo.
Yeah, most definitely. Now I'm starting to see that genius between that Charge Vitality skill and the Yanhong, and with 2 units that have AoE silencing. So he's going to make sure that he's got no immunity on the other side of the field, and he's able to lock them down with just the silences alone. It's actually kind of brilliant.
Yeah, you're super right. And here goes. So L&D Monster has a pretty commanding lead right now. Frank notably not scooping just yet, maybe thinking about what he's got in his box to counter this situation, because he might see something similar.
Yeah, we'll see what that second match looks like, but this is 100% LD Monster taking round 1 against Frank.
Though if we know one thing, the next round's probably going to be featuring Lyman and Oliver. They were notably absent because of that pre-ban phase. Great game. Awesome team from L&D Monster. I really like the combo with the Yanhong and the Nana, actually.
Yeah, it was actually a really, really good team. A well draft coming out of LD Monster there. I actually really like the 2 silencing units. As much as I was trash talking that Triton, the silence is extremely powerful when you're able to use Charge Vitality to get another unit up there. So whatever the opportunity is, Yanhong says, hey, it's your turn. I need that holy ground, or hey, I need those silences onto the field. And then Pontos is able to play those silences. Once again, there's nothing that Frank could do. There's no form of cleanser, no form of immunity to protect himself from both Pontos and that Triton.
And it wasn't just you, Stoic. I thought the same thing. I thought maybe he lacked a little bit of damage, but the silence gives you the wiggle room to just kind of chip away at the enemy anyway. So yeah, great point there. I think that the silence was really the MVP from both of those Sea Emperors. And it sounds like, here we go, guys. We're going into round 2, which is match point for L&D Monster.
Yep, there's that Lima and there's that Oliver. They're going to be available in this round 2. If LD takes this round, guys, we're going to have a really quick Legend tournament going into the final. And boy, does that sound exciting to me.
Yeah, that would be really something here. So let's see if Frank can show us something cool and get a point on the board here. He's got to do it. Otherwise, he goes home, though he likely is home right now because it's an offline tournament, or an online tournament, rather.
I'm curious what the pre-ban's going to be going up against LD Monster. Is it going to be the Yanhong or is it going to be the Pontos? We'll find out what Frank doesn't want to play up against more. And it looks like he doesn't want to play up against the Tian Lang that he knows is hidden back there.
Interesting choice to not want to play against the Tian Lang. I think maybe that means... I wonder what he's planning on picking. Oh, and there's the Gurkha. Like we said, they're just fighting over that unit.
What we're going to see is who's going to play against this Gurkha a little bit better. So Frank ended up banning out that Gurkha on the side of LD Monster, but let's see what LD Monster's going to do. Is he going to play the Gurkha, or is he also going to be banning this unit out? We'll see what happens in this draft.
Yeah, maybe he's got a counter up his sleeve for it that'll let it stick around, though. It's kind of become one of those monsters that's really difficult to counter with the buff that it got in the last patch.
Well, Gianna Shizuka is going to be coming out for LD Monster. That's going to be a lot of bombs if Shizuka is able to do the dirty things that she can do inside these matches.
If we could see it happen. We haven't seen a Gianna pop off today. I don't even think we've seen a Gianna use skills today, Stoic. We've seen Gianna in-game, but she hasn't done anything yet. Here we go.
Well, I'm expecting LD Monster to probably play this one a little bit better than that previous match with the other Gianna. But we've got a more being drafted next to a Masha, which is not a bad unit to see here.
No, and it's about this point where L&D Monster actually needs to start drafting something that's going to counter the Gurkha, and there you go. Technically speaking, the Pontos third skill does in fact counter the Gurkha. Also, it combos really well with Shizuka's third skill.
It really does, and LD Monster staying true to his name. A lot of LD Monsters going to be coming out for him. Frank looking to respond to after seeing this Yanhong and Pontos being drafted, and we are going to be seeing a Wunsa and a Chung Pong. Now, this is the control side of Frank that we do like to see. So he's got 3 solid control units out there, and then 2 threatening units in the form of that Gurkha and that Masha.
Yeah, I'm wondering what L&D Monster has in mind here. Do you ban out the Gurkha to deny consistent control on a unit, or do you just ban out the damage? I mean, can't help but notice that there's 3 strippers on that team, and there's Masha is probably the biggest source of damage.
Ooh, so that Sekhmet's going to be singling a ban on top of the speed lead. He's going to be banning out that Water Ryu, but who's going to be faster? Is it the Wunsa or is it the Sekhmet? Or does Sekhmet get the ban here?
That would be really nuts if Sekhmet ended up being faster than the Wunsa. That would be something else, but it's one of those monsters you really want turn 1. You put your fastest runes on that girl so that way she can reset the cooldown time of somebody.
Yeah, so both players fighting for turn 1. Looks like the Pontos is going to get the ban out here, leaving that Water Ryu in, and Chung Pung is going to get the ban. Frank, looking at turn 1.
You know, Stoic, I gotta say, I had a feeling that one of the defense breakers was gonna get banned out, but I kind of expected that it was gonna be the Masha instead, actually. But to your credit, I think the 24% speed lead of the Water Ryu was actually ended up being the most important. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. We'll see what kind of value he's going to get out of this more here. Looking for a lot of attack bar pushback, possibly on Despair as well. A little bit of attack bar pushback for sure. Charge Vitality is available. No attack bar pushback on top of that Yanhong, of course.
Interesting. Decides to give it out to the Shizuka and just bust out a third skill real quick to immunity up so you deny the defense break from the Masha. Safe.
Yeah. Definitely a good decision there. It's funny because a lot of people hold on to that skill to get a little bit more value down the road, but Shizuka is able to pump that second skill into herself and get that cooldowns back up on that third skill as soon as possible. We have a second skill available with our Yanhong as well, but looking for a glancing to get applied to the Gurkha.
And also get some pretty crucial information, more so for those of us at home than necessarily to them. The Gurkha is in fact on revenge, as you would expect.
There's that defense break glancing and heal block. That heal block is going to be extremely important for, to have that on top of the Gurkha, because the Gurkha is not going to be able to heal himself up after all the nonsense that could go on here.
Oh yeah, denying the heal is super important. That defense break, that's big actually. Huge damage coming from the Yanhong. And now Sekhmet is free to reset someone.
Looks like he just wants to confirm the kill on top of that Gurkha. Clearly LD Monster handling the Gurkha a little bit better than Frank had in mind.
Big time. And that was the right call too, Stuck, because now that I think about it, everybody else is on cooldown. Looking around, everybody's used everything, though Masha's going to have the defense break up shortly.
It is just a turn coming out of the Shizuka. Shizuka's going to have the second skill available again. A little bit of attack bar, attack bar gained coming from the Gianna hitting that Masha here.
He could potentially, right now we're seeing Frank weigh the decision. Do I want to secure the kill on Sekhmet? Do I think it's enough? I think it would. Ooh, I was going to bank on that, and now he's actually got to commit another turn to killing the Sekhmet if he wants to. And he has
Frank,
to.
Oh,
nice.
Well done, Frank. Frank had an opportunity to take down units. He has to take down those units for sure. That charge vitality could have came out at any time to save that Sekhmet there.
Yeah, still good though. I mean, the proc ended up making them net 0, but having them commit another turn to taking it down was nice. Here goes the Blade Fan. Doesn't get the strip,
big Blade Fan though. He did get the dismount, and that's I think what he was really looking for, because with that unit dismounted, it's definitely going to be over for Frank here. And LD Monster looking to secure his victory.
Yeah. Oh, you really needed that to kill if you're Frank. You really needed that to just take out the Yanhong right now, because there's just not enough damage on that side right now to actually make this happen. Bomb goes out on Wunsa, and we see a skill 1, and that right there is a wrap for Frank. L&D Monster with a 2-0.